Why, hello there. Hopefully you can hear me. Welcome back to another lift and yap session, and it's a good one. I've been gone a while, but this is a cool episode because this is my last week of training before my competition. So it's full steam ahead for this last one before I go into my pullback week or rest week, and then we're competing. So we are just under 2 weeks out from the competition, so it's exciting times ahead. So you've got a squat and bench session on the menu today. We're just looking, it's going to be a light session. Just keep refining technique, get some volume, get some frequency in, saving for my last heavy session on Friday. But I thought I'd take you through this session, talk through what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and how I'm feeling leading up to the comp. So yeah, let's get some weight in this bar. So yeah, the plan today is simply, we got some pause triples. So a couple sets of 3 pause reps. And that is simply just building quality, but also sort of quality with my reps, maintaining solid techniques. You can't really do a good pause rep or a good set of pause reps with shit technique. Otherwise it becomes not much of a pause rep. But also to build up some strength at the bottom portion of the squat. So with pause reps, you are killing any momentum that's possible at the bottom. If you do a pause rep pretty quick, it becomes a bounce rep pretty quick then. So you do have to go slow with these. You do have to have a definite stop at the bottom, and mine is 1 to 2 seconds. And it's just sort of building technique, but also building strength out of the bottom portion of the squat where things usually go wrong. So I'll demonstrate now with a solid 120 kilos. So yeah, that was very easy. And even today, the intensity is down. It's like way down. It's like, check in, it's like RPE 4 or 5. So it's not meant to tax me too much or push me to my limit too much, because it is just more so about quality and just technique refinement over purely building strength, building size with higher intensity. It's purely just to get a bit of technique refinement and more volume. So I am squatting twice a week and I'm deadlifting twice a week, but I'm benching a shitload more than that. But volume is a huge thing in this block as well, and it's working really well. I'll explain more about that when we're in the benching session. But for today, squats are very light, just to keep the legs moving, keep technique dialed in, and then have me ready for my heavier sessions at the end of the week, which will then also have me ready for my competition. But yeah, that felt actually really good. That felt very, very easy. So yeah, we'll push it on. Last week I did 140. I just hit a 150 today. And you'll notice I'm not using sleeves or a belt because I just don't feel I need it. Like, I think it's important for people to be strong without these pieces of equipment, not be reliant on them like they're a crutch, that you need them to perform to any reasonable extent. If you need them to perform at the most basic level, then they're not doing you much good. You can't be reliant on them. You should use them as an accessory, because that's what they are. You should be strong without them, to be honest. Now, look, I'm only squatting like 120, maybe up to 150, which isn't anything to rave about, but I'm still not being reliant on the accessories as well. So yeah, anyway, let's go up a little bit. Let's go again. All right. All right, I feel this a bit more. Nice. Easy. All right, so the last of my pause triples, I have 2 main sets. One was an RPE 6, that was 150. It's got an RPE 6 as well. Now we've got a solid 160 on the bar for another triple, pause triple as well. Hopefully it's going to look something similar to what the 150 looked like. I think it will. But yeah, should be fine. Oh, to be able to bench this weight one day. actually hit a crazy. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen. Although I'll post it later, but you might have seen that I hit a pretty fucking crazy bench PB, like 135 kilos for a pause rep, for a pause single. That's crazy. Like, yeah, like I'd say a few months ago, I was grinding out a pause single of 125 kilos, and I then just managed to hit 135 kilos for a pause single. It's absolutely nuts. But I'll show it up on screen. It's around here somewhere there. But yeah, it's pretty nuts. And I'll talk a bit more about how it happened, why it happened, once we get to the benching. So let's get through this. Easy work. A little bit grindier than the 150, but that's fair enough. It was meant to be an RPE7. I think that was about that. Felt pretty okay. A couple things with squatting. There's this narrative going around that if your knees kind of come in on the way up on a squat, that it's automatically going to kill you and explode your knees or something. That's not the case. It's called knee valgus, and it's a natural occurrence because the muscles on the inside of your legs here, your adductors, their main function is to pull your knee in or pull your leg in. That's all that's happening. Those are contracting, and when you get to a deeper portion of your squat, they are the first muscle that really, really kicks in and starts the concentric or the lifting portion of a squat. So if you find your knees come in a bit during a squat, it's not something that you necessarily have to fix. Now, of course, if your concentric looks something like that, where your knees are almost touching together, can't believe it, just where your knees almost come together fully at the bottom of the squat when you're coming up, then maybe that's something to look at. But knee valgus isn't like something that you should have alarm bells about. It's not a big deal at all for the most part, as long as your technique is somewhat okay, you know. And again, that's an individual thing, but don't automatically think there's something wrong with the squat if your knees turn in a bit, because mine were turning in just there, and I think those squats looked and felt just fine. So yeah, it's a natural thing that happens when you're squatting. Anyway, I have got 4 sets of 5 left, but they're light. It's like an RP5 or something, very, very light stuff, like 130 kilos without a pause. Not very interesting stuff, so I'm gonna cut the squats here and I will see you when we're benching. Right, squats are done. Those last 4 sets were basically cardio. But yeah, we're here at some bench, and I've quickly warmed myself up for my first working set. And for today, we are starting with 2 sets of two singles, and with the same idea as the squats where I'm pausing. But because bench press already has pauses in it as part of the rules with powerlifting competitions, I've extended, or my coach has extended, the length of the pause here. I'm going for a 3-second pause. And again, it's just to get me stronger in less favorable conditions. So obviously I have to pause for at least 1 second or a 1 count in powerlifting. So I'm going to do technically a 3-second or a 3-count pause. This should again get me better at sticking to a pause while keeping my technique solid. Today is actually relatively high RPE for day 1. This first set is going to be ideally a 7. I have 105 on the bar. Then my second set's going to be an RPE 8, and I'm going for maybe 110, 112. We'll see how we go. I'm going to be conservative because I want to go hard on Friday, so I'm going to try and not overshoot today. This mightn't be a good start, but we'll see how this goes first. And after this, I'll talk about how I got my bench press up by a substantial amount in the last few months. Right, let's go. Let's go. Right, that moved like butter, so definitely not overshooting today, which is great. That was an RP5, which is great. It's kind of a clear example of how my bench press has come along quite nicely, and let me talk a bit about that. Probably the 2 things that really made a massive difference to my bench was something that I always kind of avoided, and that's volume and frequency. And there's this weird thing online now with science-based community where lower volume, lower frequency, well, more or less lower volume, like lower sets, lower reps, has somehow become king when it comes to training effectively for building muscle and building strength. And I don't think it's as black and white as that. I truly think higher volume, where I'm doing lots more sets at varying intensities, varying styles in terms of how many reps I do, how many sets I do, the type of rep I do, where it's pause or a tempo rep. I think doing that multiple times a week has really brought my bench on. So I wouldn't shy away from increased volume if you're trying to get more out of your bench, especially the bench, especially a technical lift like the bench press. It needs a bit more volume for you to get that practice and get better, refine your technique, and just get better at whatever type of PB you're looking for. In my case, the 1 rep max, so I'm practicing singles quite a lot. But getting more repetitions in, getting more occasions throughout the week where you're actually training the lift will bring it on. And obviously it doesn't mean you max out every single session. It's varying intensity, so some are easy days, some are heavier days. Today is a moderate kind of day. End of the week is going to be a very heavy day where I'm pretty much maxing out. In the middle of the week, I'm going a bit lighter. So I think volume matters, especially when you're trying to get a bit more weight on the bar. Volume does play a role, and it's not as black and white as just 2 hard sets, 5 to 7 reps. I think it's never as black and white as that. In some cases, low volume can be really good, especially if you're building muscle. But if you actually want to build some strength, get good at it, get efficient at a lift, get strong and get up, bring your numbers up, then I think volume actually really matters. So don't skip on volume. Don't skip on doing more just because your favorite influencer says not to. Right, so last of my singles, I got 115. So I know I said 112 initially, but I felt like I was undershooting on the last set. So today is meant to be an RP8, so may as well just go for it. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Moved fine. That was a bit slower, but it was steady. I knew I had it. So yeah, easy work. But yeah, I think that is one of the biggest things that really got my bench press up. Obviously there are aspects to technique, but that came along with doing more. So I think the driving factor that got my bench press from a grindy 125 to a grindy 135, I guess, still a 10 kilo increase, is volume and frequency across the week. And with that added practice came a natural progression in my technique, natural refinement of my technique. And what I will do is I will make another video going over how to bench press correctly and how to bench press well to get the most out of it. But that's a whole other video. But yeah, the setup is huge, technique is huge, patience is huge as well. A lot of people try and rush their bench to get the weight up, down and up as quick as possible, and that's where things go wrong. If a slight misgroove can be the deciding factor of whether you get a rep or not, whether if the bar path goes a little bit forward from where it should be or back from where it should be, can really decide whether you get it or not. So technique is huge, setup is huge, but I think what really brought on my bench was bringing up my volume and frequency, where I would generally just do it once a week to like maybe a top set and a few back offs, to then eventually where I was doing 2, 3, 4 occasions in the week where I would bench press. And again, like I said, varying intensities, varying rep ranges and intensity techniques and styles, where I'm doing top sets and back offs, whether I'm doing pause reps, tempo reps, where I'm doing straight sets of like 5 to 8 reps. It all works, but it's just a lot of occasions where I bench different styles of bench. And I'll even show you Larsen press, which I'm going to do after this. I have 4 sets of 5 on standard bench, which I'm just going to do without you needing to watch because that's not that interesting. But I'm going to show you some Larsen press because it's one of those different variations that I think has really helped me along the way. So I'll see you then. So on the topic of improving my bench press, I talked about obviously upping your rep ranges, upping your frequency, upping your sets, and the typical once a week doing 2 to 3 hard working sets, but actually increasing the amount you do. I also mentioned how there are variations you can do to push your bench press on in terms of targeting certain weak points or emphasizing certain techniques or just isolating certain areas within the bench press. Obviously you saw I was doing pause reps there, and the longer pauses to be, I suppose, more comp specific, because my competition would have a 1 count pause. I'm doing 3 counts to just emphasize that pause and getting myself strong while pausing. But there's another technique I've been doing that's called a Larsen press, which I just mentioned. So the Larsen press, essentially the purpose of it is to isolate the upper body by taking the legs out of the equation, by simply taking them off the floor entirely. So it forced you to stabilize yourself without your legs, and it basically negates any leg drive you may have. So it forces your upper body to do all of the work, and it gets your upper body to, I suppose, coordinate itself without the legs, but it also isolates that upper portion without allowing that momentum and allowing that leg drive to, I suppose, aid in the rep. So let's have a look and see what it looks like. So we'll generally do the usual setup when we're doing this. I'm going to slide back, get my feet back as I normally would, bring myself forward, get myself in position, get that bar up, and once I'm ready to go, my feet are now up off the ground. I'm going to go for a nice set of 8. Again, trying to stabilize myself just through my upper body. And again, no leg drive anymore. My legs are completely taken out of it. 2 more. Nice. Yeah, that is the Larsen press. So essentially taking the legs out of it, getting the upper body to work in isolation. So it can really be a good variation for developing the upper body. Well, maybe not developing your chest, because you can't really produce maximum force, but it's a great way to learn. It is a great way to learn how to coordinate your upper body effectively. And it can then aid in your bench press, because then once you bring the leg drive back, it'll just be that much easier. So yeah, that's the Larsen press. That is essentially my bench session. I have one more set to do, but you won't need to see that. So yeah, that's the training footage for today. Once I'm done this, I will see you in the car for a bit less lifting and a bit more yapping. Well, hello there. We're back. We're done. And we're in the car on our way home to do a bit of actual work. This is sometimes with making YouTube videos, it is part of work for me, because I'm trying to develop my business and stuff. I just find I'm dosing sometimes, but as long as this video or these videos or just the things that I record and upload are valuable to at least one person, then it's worth it. So yeah, anyway, that's philosophy done. I'm here to talk about my journey powerlifting. You can see me now, although the phone is in a bit of a precarious situation as per usual. It's probably gonna fall, but fuck it, we ball. Oh, that rhymed. Nice. Anyway, I suppose feedback on how I have found this powerlifting prep and how I'm feeling 2 weeks out from competition. All in all, to summarize, very fucking good. Really good. I am feeling great, to be honest. Even last week's squat bench deadlift session, anyone following me on Instagram, you'd have seen that I PB'd my bench by 10 kilos, which is nuts. I've never done something like that. Albeit before, I managed to hit 132.5 in a public gym. Not a public gym, sorry, the last gym I was working in. Public gym? No, it wasn't a public gym. Private gym, but it was where I was working before, but that was with, I suppose, bumper plates and touch and go. It was a dicey fucking rep. But since then, I've now been able to pause rep 135 kilos. So I suppose it's a 10 kilo pause rep PB, but I suppose technically it's a 2.5 kilo weight PB, I guess. But I'm taking the 10 kilo because it sounds way better. And the weight's probably heavier and it's a stiff bar. Whatever. Comp standard. But yeah, all in all, since starting this powerlifting journey, my strength has gone through the roof. I'm way stronger. I feel bigger, albeit I don't feel as lean or as aesthetic. My fucking keys are jingly as fuck. You have to deal with it, sorry. But I don't feel as aesthetic some days. I do feel a bit softer and stuff, but that's fine. My fitness has been maintained to a decent degree because I do just the bare minimum cardio just to keep myself, healthy at least. But yeah, no, things are going really well. I'm feeling good for this competition. Albeit last week failed my deadlift attempt of 255 kilos, which is annoying because my previous 1 rep max was 260. So that initially annoyed me, but I have to understand that I was sick pretty much all of last week, and I was just kind of coming out of it on Friday, and I'm still kind of sick. So I still did pretty well, all things considered. Still hit 245, which is good. And the squat as well was 215, and it was a relatively easy single. So my 1 rep max previously being 220, I could be looking at something big for my squat and my bench. And I think once I recover after this week of training, once I get a recovery week in before the competition, I think I'm going to put up some pretty good numbers. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident, and I'm happy. I'm looking forward to getting up on the platform and maybe placing somewhat decently. It is an open competition, of course, so that means anyone can be there, from like first timers to national champions. Like anyone can turn up to this. So there is that sort of, not concern, but it's just something I need to be aware of, that I need to manage my expectations. My whole expectation is just to do my best and not fail a lift, get all white lights, or actually hit all my lifts and not fail a lift. If I can do that and then put up some numbers that I'm proud of, I'm happy there. And if I place well because of that, then that's a bonus for me. But yeah, that's kind of where my head is at. Training's good, work is good, everything's good. Body is tired, but like I said, once I get that fucking tongue twister, man. I've noticed that my R's are sounding like W's, so I'm like, recovery week. Recovery week. Once I get that in, I'll find that my body will probably show the results, show the fruits of my labor a lot more. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, it's been really good. It's been a good journey getting powerlifting specific training, and it's been fun. And I find that I'm quite suited to it, but I am looking forward to kind of circling back just a little bit towards some bodybuilding and hybrid training as well. I've got some cool goals around that, but incorporating the powerlifting as well. It's one of the biggest reasons that I went towards powerlifting, was to get exposed to it, get an understanding of how to do it, so that I can program it alongside other training techniques, and also to help train other people through similar sort of training styles as well. If I can do it myself and understand it, then it'll be easier for me to coach it. So part of what I'm doing is ready for my own coaching career. Just understand how something works, how something feels, so that I can help someone else navigate it. So yeah, it's part of that as well. Like the reason why I'll probably do more photo shoots, I'll run more long runs and races, I'll do more powerlifting competitions, and we'll see where we go. But yeah, overall it's been good. Long story short, it's been good. I'm feeling good and I'm excited. Not too nervous. I just want to get in there, get at it, sink my teeth into it, and see how we do. Yeah, that is the video. Thank you for watching. If you stuck around to the very end, then I appreciate you. If you are looking for any extra help, then there is a link at the bottom to my free webinar on how to manage fat loss while also maintaining performance. And if you're looking for coaching, links in the description. I'd be happy to help. So I'd love to help anyone on their fitness, strength, physique related goals, anything along those lines. If you need help with that, reach out. And again, there's no contracts, there's no commitments. If you want to sign up, hit the link below to sign up for coaching. It just starts as a chat. Just see if we align, if your goals are something I can help with. And then if it sounds like something that's a good fit for you and something you're interested in, then yeah, we'll get to work. But again, all the best. Thank you for watching. And yeah, I will see you everyone in the next one. Have a good one, everyone.